What is up, everybody? Dan the Fireman. This is going to be episode 2 of After the Ride. We're going to talk about 5 ways to become a more confident motorcycle rider. I'm going to try to keep it on task here, but this is going to be more of a free flow type thing. So if you're new to the channel, this is what we do, among other things. Anyways, we're going to jump into it. And the thing is, I see a lot of riders out there that ask me these questions of, you know, how can I become more confident, or I'm scared of this, scared of this, scared of this. A lot of the times it comes into the I'm scared of this category, and it's not necessarily how can I become more confident, but that is the problem. I start to find people saying, hey, I'm really scared of moving my motorcycle. I'm scared of stopping at a stoplight because I feel like I'm too short. I'm scared of doing slow speed stuff. I feel like I always have to, power walk it. I have to do all these things. I'm scared of braking. I'm scared of dumping the bike. We watch those on the live streams. We watch those on the DanDanTheFireman channel about people grabbing too much front brake. All these different things I'm scared of. And there's a solution to everything. There's a solution to that I'm scared of. I mean, there's professional motorcycle riders out there that are still scared of certain things, but it's not going to be the same as what you're scared of. So a lot of it's going to be a beginner type thing. It's at the end of the day, if you think about it, you're scared of everything you start off as new. So, you're scared of cooking when you first start cooking. You're afraid of burning the place or burning your food or making the food terrible. I mean, you're scared of doing it. Same thing with driving a car, same thing with skateboarding, same thing with anything new. Humans don't like it, so we're scared of that. So with that in mind, understand that when you hop on a motorcycle, you will be scared. So confidence is really a feeling of trust in yourself and your abilities. So if you don't trust your abilities, you're not going to be confident. And that's normal. That is absolutely first day MSF BRC1. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be scared. And that's perfectly fine. And I want you guys to understand that, if you're starting off new, you will be scared. You're going to be scared of the actual motorcycle itself. And once you start getting some of the primary controls down, when you start to understand counter steering, you start to understand counterbalancing, all these things start to come into play, and then you become less scared. Before you know it, I'm going to use the BRC1, the MSF course. It's the beginner class as an example throughout all of this. A lot of the people, when they first start, they are scared to even touch the motorcycle. And then by the end of the half of that day, the first day, we usually do the range stuff towards the beginning of the day because it gets hot down here in Tucson. So towards half of the day, people are like, I'm still nervous and I'm still scared. And I have to remind them that they've never been on a motorcycle before. They were scared of the motorcycle at first. And now we're like on exercise 7 or 8, and you've been riding, you've put on miles, you've done this, and are you still scared of that? And they're like, no, I'm scared of what's coming up next. So realize that the stuff behind you, every little baby step becomes less scary. And then every new thing, every new step becomes scary. And I don't want you guys to make mistakes. So my number 2 out of the 5 ways is to learn from other people's mistakes. Honestly, this is the video age. This is the time to watch other people screw up and learn from it. And that is one of the biggest things that I do on the DanDanTheFireman channels, because I really want to focus on some of the mental stuff, and we'll talk about that. But to get your confidence, you really need to focus on other people's mistakes, because you can learn from them without having to damage yourself, bruising your ego, all these different things. 'Cause I know when my wife and even myself, if we drop the bike or I make a mistake, it really just brings me down. And I know a lot of other riders out there, especially beginners, it will bring you down, and then your confidence is shot, at least in that area. Let's say you drop the bike during a U-turn. Your U-turns, the next 5 or so, are going to be pretty bad because you're so focused on not dropping it again. So when you do that, my biggest thing is that don't try to not make a mistake. Okay, you're going to make one. But if you want to try your best not to make one, well, let's watch other people, okay? So let's go ahead and watch that. Let's watch the people crash. Let's watch the people have near misses. Let's watch the people do good and then realize what they're doing good, and then we can apply that to ourselves, okay? So the one thing that really gets some people in trouble here when they don't want to learn from others and they just want to do themselves, do all that stuff, it's more like an ego thing, okay? So it's like, I don't need to learn from other people. That's a bad mentality. Have that beginner's mentality. It's really important that you do that because you're going to constantly be learning, okay? So first off, you have an experience, but you're constantly learning, especially from other people, and applying that to you, then you're going to get more experience quicker. And I talked about focusing on these mental skills that we have, and there's the mental, there's the physical. You know, the physical, I'm doing U-turns, figure eights, knee down, all these different weird things. That's great, but we're not here to ride motorcycles only in parking lots or on the track. If that's what you're doing, then keep doing it. But I know a lot of us, pretty much the majority here, is going to be riding motorcycles on the street. So in order for us to ride on the street, we need to now apply physical skills to the street itself. But what happens now? There's a bunch of other stuff. You know, once you get onto the street, you're like, I don't even remember how to ride a bike now. It's weird. It's like all these different inputs, all the too much information, basically. I'm still trying to, you know, focus on my skills, my physical skills, but now I have to focus on the cars. I have to focus on lane changes. I have to focus on traffic. I have to focus on potholes. I have to focus all these different things. Okay. So I say focus on the mental skills. If you're so focused on how to do the perfect U-turn, you're focused on looking down, you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. But do you understand that in the real world, you know, you're probably doing a U-turn in the middle of an intersection so you can turn around and go the other way, watch for potholes, watch for gravel. You know, where's the gravel typically? Is there traffic coming? You'll do it in a parking lot. Is there somebody pulling out? So the mental skills is the hazard perception area. And that is what I super duper duper focus on. Even if that's a word, I focus so much on the hazard perception because if you can't see the hazard, your physical skills are out the window. It doesn't even matter. You could be doing awesome figure eights in a parking lot, but then a car's pulling in. You don't even see them. You don't even register that. And then you get hit. Or you're going to do a U-turn in the middle of the intersection like I just used as an example. You're going to do it, but you didn't really focus on, well, there's cars coming, or judging the speed of the cars coming, or there's somebody turning right while you're doing a U-turn, and they're going to possibly hit you. So hazard perception is very, very important to me, and that really plays into the search and evaluate portion of the search, evaluate, execute. So I focus so much on that because if you can't see the hazard, it doesn't matter what your physical skills are. It really doesn't. Another thing that I want you guys to focus on, this is number 4, is the motivation to learn. I have many books at home. I've been constantly reading, and I'm just learning different things. Now, there's no end-all be-all book. There's no end-all be-all video. There's no end-all be-all ebook guide, whatever it is. This is my concept of learning, is that I'll read, let's say, 10 books, and I'll take 10% of this book. I'll take 25% of this book. I'll take even 5% of this book, and I'll just start grabbing all these percentages of that book that I feel like relates to me or that I can understand, and then I'll combine it all into like a book in my head. So now I have like my playlist. I have all the things that I need to understand. So if you are only focused on one ideology or one type of book, you know, let's put in, and I'm going to use a very popular one, Total Control. You know, Total Control is a great book. I love the book. There's some amazing things in there. But then there's also another book, Motorcycling the Right Way by Ken Condon. That's an amazing book too. And they almost interlap. Almost. There's certain things in Ken Condon's book, the Motorcycling the Right Way, that is not focused on in Total Control. So Total Control is a lot of physical skills. There's a little bit of the mental skills, and that's perfect. That's great. I'm going to utilize that. And then in Ken Condon's book, the Motorcycling the Right Way, I'll have all the links to these 2 books in the description. Great books. His book is really front heavy on the mental skills, and I love that. I absolutely love that because that's the why. You know, why are we doing this? Why are we doing a U-turn? Why does it work? Why are we doing figure eights in a parking lot? What is the purpose of that? What are we learning from that? Why does the bike want to switch here if I put this much weight here? All these different things, and I really like the the Motorcycling the Right Way, because it really focuses on a lot of that. When it comes to Total Control, you're going to learn the skill. You're going to learn the skill. And that's just 2 books, guys. There's many books out there. There's books on motorcycle maintenance. So now you have a better understanding of how the bike works so that when you're moving it around, so you're going to understand the shifting of the shocks and the suspension, all that stuff, how it rotates, why the tires need to be properly inflated. why tires can be underinflated for certain situations and then overinflated for different ones. There's different things that you can really pick apart and learn from. So you really need to be motivated to learn. And I know a lot of you guys aren't here to understand everything. Okay. Understanding everything is just, it's almost too much. My job though is to understand everything so that I can give you guys, a little bit here and there. So let's say 100% of my knowledge and I make videos, maybe you're only getting 25%, out of what I'm trying to say in that video. So that's why I create a bunch of videos. But I highly recommend, watching other people. MC Rider has some good stuff. Moto Jitsu has some good stuff. Who else? There's a bunch of people, Canyon Chasers, there's a bunch, Moto Trek, all these, I'm thinking of all these different people, and you're going to get different parts of things from them. Just for instance, I'm just going to throw this out there, a lot like the book situation is that you're going to get, from MC Rider. It's a little slower paced, but you're going to get some quality information. You're going to learn that topic, you're going to learn about it. Moto Jitsu, he's going to go over some type of skill, or like a 5 tips type thing, dependent on a skill, and you're going to get that. So it's mostly skill related, I believe. Sometimes it jumps into other areas, but you're going to get skill related. With MC Rider, you're going to get the why, hows, and whats. So you're going to get a full package. Moto Trek will focus on one specific thing. It's great. I love it. I love his channel. Canyon Chasers will go over a specific skill, but then go super in depth. And then Ryan Fortnine, he does some crazy stuff too. It's amazing stuff. So you can pick apart different things. So subscribe to everybody and learn from different things. You might not like watching all the way through, but you're going to pick something up. And it's amazing. So be motivated to learn, because if you keep learning and you focus on the safety aspect, like you're not focused on how to get from point A to point B as fast as you can, point A to point B as safe as you can. If you do that, you're going to be a lot safer. You're going to last a long time on this earth, hopefully from not crashing, but there's other stuff out there. But it's very important that you are motivated to learn. The moment you stop trying to learn, the moment you think that you know it all, or you just like, I don't need to know anymore, it's going to bite you in the butt. The more I read, the more I watch, the more I focus on safety, the more I focus on coaching, how to coach, all these different things, psychology of coaching, the student-coach dynamic, all these different things. I'm constantly learning more things that give me that aha moment. And you notice how we're staying on this topic for quite a bit, the motivated to learn. It's because it's very, very important that we are consistently motivated to learn, whether it's mental or physical skills, because it will depreciate. If you don't use it, you will lose it type thing. And if you get into that complacency type area where you're like, I don't need to know anymore, I feel good, it really is going to bite you in the ass. The thing that's going to kill you is the thing that you don't know about. It's as serious as that is. That's really what's going to happen. To move on to number 5 is to really challenge yourself, though. So after I read or watch one of these videos or do anything, I want to put it into practice. There's the whole the book, and then didactic, the physical. You can read it, you can do it, you can see it, all these different ways of learning. And you can read all you want, you can watch all you want, but if you don't put it into physical practice, that's where it doesn't really serve you any use. So to put that in an example, you could watch one of my videos, and I talk about emergency braking, not to panic brake, use progressive brake pressure, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, squeeze it all the way in, weight transfer to the front. You can hear me say that, you can watch me say that all day, every day. You can watch my braking video all day, every day. But if you never do it in a parking lot to practice in a safe environment, you're not going to do it any good when it comes to that emergency situation in the middle of the intersection when a car's pulling out in front of you. You're not going to be able to do it right. You're going to know that you should have done it. You're going to know after the fact, after you dump the bike, that, oh, wait, I've heard and he said it all this time and I just didn't do it. Damn it. So, guys, if you are going to do any type of learning, if you're going to focus on, to be safer and to be more confident, you need to really focus on the practice aspect, challenge yourself. And it's not like, let's challenge ourselves to do 27 figure eights in a row. You're going to get sick and throw up. So let's do something simple. Moto Jitsu has a great book. His book is really good. It's a great, simple practice book. And, there's also the MSF. There's also classes at Total Control, all these different things. I even have my own ebook. I have the DDFMcrew.com website that's free training. You get to do U-turns, figure eights, all these different things. I have a video describing everything. And then I also have some diagrams to help you out how to set up in a parking lot. So that's very important, though. A challenge to you, I don't know who you are, but let's say you're a brand new rider. A challenge to you is just to get on the bike and sit on it at the dealership and take a look at it. A challenge to me is different than that. So a challenge to you is going to be that, or a challenge to you is going to be, I'm going to do my first figure eight within 3 parking spaces. And then you do it. Okay, now what? Well, be motivated to learn. You got a little bit more confidence because you did it in 3 parking spaces. Now challenge yourself to 2 parking spaces. Now challenge yourself to do it, not necessarily one-handed or anything like that, but now try to do it as close as possible to 1 parking space. If you could do it within 1 parking space, you're a genius. That's amazing. You're the best person ever. It's really hard. I think they're only like 8 feet, 9 feet wide, so that'd be impressive. But that's what I'm trying to get at, is that your challenge is going to be different than my challenge. And my job as an MSF rider coach, access scene management, YouTuber, podcast, whatever it is, by the way, this is on Spotify, it's to make sure that I can apply and show you different challenges to your level. So I'm constantly going back and forth between a beginner challenge, something that's super easy and I know a lot of you guys don't really care about on my channel. I'll talk about how to pass your Module 1 test in the UK or how to pass your other tests, and a lot of people are like, I already have it. But that's not your challenge. Your challenge is, some people's challenge is to pass the test. Once they pass the test, they graduated that, they're going to try a new challenge, hopefully. And then they're going to move into a lot of the figure eight and all these other things that I show. And then the hazard perception is very important. So focus on what your challenge is, not what someone else's challenge is. Because if you try something else, like if you try to do what I can do, if you're a brand new rider, you're not going to be able to do it. And it's going to cause anxiety with you. And then vice versa. If I try something that is somebody's way above me and I try to do that and I mess up all the time because I just can't get there yet because there's some steps involved, I'm going to ruin my confidence and I'm going to get upset. So focus on you, focus on your ride your own ride. You hear that all the time. Ride your own ride, focus on you, and live within your own bubble when it comes to your confidence and everything. If you go outside your confidence, if you start to ride outside your ride, you're going to get this anxiety. If you don't want that anxiety because you want to ride with that group, well, then it's time to go back to the drawing board. It's time to focus on some of the mental skills. If it's a physical skill that's a problem, focus on some of the physical, but then understand why. There comes the mental. Be motivated to learn. That's obvious. And then challenge yourself to do it. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people just really, really, really want to be at the top or want to be at this area, and they're not there yet. The only way you're going to learn is if you actively seek out information. Like, find out why I can't do this. Why does this guy, how can he do this? And why can't I? Just these little things like that. It's very, very important that we focus on that. If you like these long form, just me talking to you, like I'm sitting here at a table with you and just, answering your questions or whatever it is, let me know. Please let me know. Write in the comments what you're scared of or what you're not sure of, or join the Discord and private message me your question or write a private message in the new rider questions area, all these different things. And I might be able to make a video out of it and just pretty much talk to you about what I feel is, the best this, the best that, how to do this, how to do that. And just kind of focus on the you and me aspect. Okay. With that said, I hope you guys ride safe, be safe, and I'll be seeing you out there.